Talk to us about how the global financial crisis has impacted on your investments as a technology driver in 2009.
Okay, thank you for that question. Back in Nigeria, I was specific to Nigeria, how that has impacted business for me in Nigeria. To start with, when the global crisis started, a lot of investment, a lot of companies didn't want to throw more investment into the region for fear of uncertainty. Costs, everybody's looking at cost, trying to manage cost and all that. So that really, at that point, in the first quarter, second quarter for HP, really impacted business. As it is at the moment, business is picking up. The recession so far is not that biting in the region, but what is really key for us, or what is really impacting on the business, is the fluctuation of the currency of Naira.
Let's talk about that issue, because we know that Nigeria has had particular problems, also exacerbated by the fact that the oil price has dropped, and it affected the benchmark price for the Nigerian government to be able to draft a budget and begin its planning. It's also affected the Naira, and there have also been issues around banking regulations within Nigeria. That's really dented investor confidence. How has that dented the business of HP?
Yeah, it's not really impacted on HP, as supposed to say, but oil, Nigeria, as you know, really depend on oil. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of unrest because most of the oil rigs are in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Yeah. So production has been dropped. We are no longer producing as much as we used to produce a year ago because of the militants. The militants are really making it impossible, attacking foreigners and attacking companies for obvious reasons known to them. From an HP perspective, that has not impacted business for me, but it has slowed down the revenue that Nigeria is getting. And as you know, that's where we're getting most of our revenue from. We don't have any other source of revenue at the moment that brings more revenue.
And in terms of developing a customer base, capital expenditure and marketing of HP, how do factors like inflation at 13% in Nigeria impact on your ability to conduct business? Because certainly the currency does impact on your capital expenditure.
Okay, I'll take that question from two perspectives. The first perspective would be from a corporate point of view. That has not really impacted business for corporate businesses, for private sector businesses, because they need to transact business, they need to do business. So for them to run business means that they need to put in place an infrastructure, a solution that will enable them run their businesses efficiently and make sure that it also helps them cut down cost. The second perspective is, from an individual point of view, people are no longer being able to buy those products as they were buying in the previous years. So from an individual point of view, sales has actually slowed down, but from a corporate point of view, sales is picking up, but they plan their purchases from a private sector perspective.
And we can expect sales to pick up in future because African governments have committed themselves to various protocol on technological innovations, and this is where you have a role to play in education, in skilling Africans and introducing technology into the skill set within school curricula and modules. But we've got this perennial problem of the brain drain in Africa. Where can you come up with a solution? Okay,
thank you for that question. That's a very good question because HP is doing a lot of things from that perspective. We have a lot of initiative going on, HP and UNESCO, where we are providing cloud computing infrastructure to universities to help them do projects and to also help them research on certain things. We're also providing that for researchers as well. We've done a couple of donations to school in Nigeria. For instance, Obafemi Awolowo University benefited from this scheme. These are initiatives we have with UNESCO. University of Nigeria also benefited from this scheme, where we've supplied equipment, servers, workstations, laptops, and on top of it, we've also given them a certain amount of money to enable them work on the project. Also, there's another initiative called Financial Aid for Tertiary Institution, where another university, University of Jos, has also benefited from that scheme as well. So the reason why we're doing that is to ensure that we put the cloud computing infrastructure in place so that students can learn, use that and learn, and also get the skills so that they do not need to travel out to go and learn about computing skills and all that thing. So HP is really committed to doing that.
HP is not the first IT company to try to move into this wireless campus space. The real question is the sustainability of some of these initiatives, because right now it's happening at the goodwill of HP. At some point, there needs to be organic uptake. Students need to just move into the mobile space. They need to have the money for the airtime. They need to have the ability to source regular supply of electricity for which they pay in order to continue with this. And those continue to be limitations. Purchasing power, but also regular energy supply. How are you going to mitigate those limitations at a point where you're not doing this for philanthropic purposes?
Okay, like I said, the initiative is ongoing. At the moment, we've done it for 5 universities. For 2009, we're extending it to another 15 universities that will benefit from the initiative from the program. That doesn't mean we're going to forget the 5 other universities. We'll continue to support them. But interestingly, what we're also doing is that in 2011, we're going to extend this to 100 universities in Africa. So it's an ongoing thing. This is driven from a corporate perspective. So we would continue to support the students. But when they come out of school, of course, you know the issues around African unemployment. So we can't guarantee that all of them will be employed by HP. We also have a sales university program for fresh new graduates who come out of school and then they go to sales university where we teach them HP technology and everything, and then when they come back we employ them, but we cannot guarantee the generality of the students being employed in HP.
All right, well, we thank you for your time and we wish you well. Ime Umo, MD of HP Nigeria. That's what's coming out of the World Economic Forum Africa here in Cape Town.